My dear brothers and sisters, when calamity comes, the source of mercy comes with it. في كل محنة منحة. It's very important to understand that there is wisdom behind all of the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There used to be that in the past, Salihin, when they've been tested with something hard, they said, Rabbi iftakarni. Allah, remember me. Because, He wants to test you. He wants to elevate you. And a part of the dua, what we say, if being tested? What we say? Kafar al-dhunub. Yes. So we said that may be a means of erasing the sins. I'la'u darajat, elevating degrees. So there is khair, even when being tested with a hard test. One of Salihin, he slept and he broke his finger and he smiled. They told him he smiled, and at such time he said, Halawatu ajriha ansatni mararata alamiha. The sweetness of its reward made me to forget its pain. To always remember when something happened, especially when there's a calamity or obstacle or problems that you face in life, there's something good behind it. And remember 4 things. First, remember that could be harder. That test could be harder. You never know. So always be hopeful. Oh, this is better, test could be worse. So that's why we said, Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. All praise be to Allah for all my matters. So it could be worse. Second, you have to understand that after the difficulties are to ease, will replace it. Allah said in the Quran, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. العسر معرفة وأعيدت معرفة والمعرفة إذا أعيدت معرفة فهي عين الأولى واليسر نكرة وأعيدت نكرة والنكرة إذا أعيدت نكرة فهي غير الأولى فهو عسر ويسرين. تقول جاءني الرجل فأكرمت الرجل، هل هو ذاته؟ نعم هو ذاته. تقول جاءني رجل فأكرمت رجلا، هل هو ذاته؟ لا هو غيره. قال سبحانه وتعالى إنا أرسلنا إليكم رسولا شاهدا عليكم كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا، هل هو نفسه؟ لا، أرسلنا إليكم رسولا، من هو؟ محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا، من هو؟ موسى عليه السلام. فعصى فرعون الرسول، هو ذاته، هو نفسه. So Allah mentioned the word al-usr, difficulties, attached with a defined article, and was repeated attached with a defined article, the, which mean is exactly the same. You're talking about the same difficulties. But when you mention about the ease, Allah never attached it with the defined article, yusra. He didn't say al-yusr, he said yusr. And was repeated. So the first one is not the second one, are different. So in the ayah, it was not just redundant or Allah repeated to emphasize about it. No, repeated to initiate other meaning. As He told you, there's only one usr, but 2 yusr. 1 difficulties, but 2 ease. And that's why when the Sahaba, they face the difficulties, they were happy. Because they know that difficulties will followed by ease. But when you have easy life, That's not necessarily that's something good. Might be istidraj. It might be different test. But you have to understand that we are going to be tested regardless. So after difficulties, there are 2 E's, and that will make it easier for you. And simply, what are those 2 E's? Allah will lift the difficulties and replace it with something better. Those are 2 E's, not only one. Another thing that you should think of it, when difficulties comes to you, that's a way of erasing your sins. Allah wants to meet with us with no sin. So Allah giving all of that in our life, so that will be means of purifying us. ما من مصيبة يصابها المؤمن إلا من ذنب أحدثه. Even the thorn, like small shoka that hit your foot, that will be a means of erasing sins. What do you think? Something worse. So that's the 3rd point. The 4th one, that will make it easier for you, that remember that who's better than you, those who are better than you face it same, even worse. Like our beloved Muhammad ﷺ and his companion. Whatever you think, that calamity that you faced, our beloved Muhammad ﷺ and his companion faces something worse. Can we compare the struggle that we are facing compared to the struggle that they faced? Not the same. Not the same. And those, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them most. And they face it harder test. And by the way, the harder in test, the stronger in faith is the harder is the test. Stronger in faith is the harder in the test. So when you have more faith and be more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your test will be higher. أشد الناس بلاء الأنبياء ثم الأمثل ثم الأمثل. The hardest in test, those are prophet, then those are similar, and then those are similar. So these 4 points, always remember, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to test you with something that's unpleasant or something that you don't want. So we have to read the wisdom behind all of that. That will open the door of hope. That will make us accepting whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote for us. That will make us optimistic and hopeful. Our ummah are facing nowadays one of the tests. And that test should strengthen our iman and make us more close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's happening in Gaza, for example, that's something terrific, terrible, something unbelievable, where people, with no manners, targeting those in hospitals. Those people are civilian and peaceful and unarmed and weaker, and they're not even part of this, all of this conflict that was applied on them with no choice. And you're targeting them. That's tragic, make us really feel sad and worry. But knowing that, that's part of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we accept it and we know good things will come out of it. Wallahi, no doubt, the good things will come out of this. You will see. all of that will be part of the history. And the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will happen. And justice will be applied. If not in this life, in the hereafter, when we stand before Allah, and nothing will be missed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be in the help of our brothers and sisters in Gaza. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change our situation to something better. Ameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.